guys. I'm coming back this morning to do a short video. It won't be long. I'm off camera. Y'all might be able to tell that I sound funny. I have a pretty bad cold that my daughter gave to me. Anyway, I just decided to not be on camera. It's really bad. So my face is all swollen and I'm just, But you guys, this morning I wanted to come and I actually may do some more videos today since I actually have the day off. Couldn't go in like this. But just, I wanted to put this video together. Not really sure how it's going to sound or come out, but the premise is female safety. The premise is for women to be careful. It really wasn't until I was an adult that I learned about the predatory side and nature of men, that warrior, that hunter, that, kind of the fact that just because of that nature in them, it's always the weaker women and children who are usually the victims of the prey or target who turn into victims. Let me put it like that. And I don't say this for women to walk around just in fear of men, but I think we need to look at things from all sides at all times. So many times we just look at men as love interests, or, my brother, my cousin, my family, or someone that we're fond of, which is good and it's great because, many of them are. But we have to also look at the fact and recognize the fact that just men in general have a predatory nature. They have, it's that hunt or be hunted. That's a lot of why men like to chase, and, a lot of the times why, often we women ask, well, he chased me and he, I wouldn't go out with him and blah, blah, blah. And, and then finally once he got me, it's like he just lost interest, and I think it's a part of their nature. I can't fully explain it, but it's the part of their nature, to seek out and to prey. And in the society that is built here in America, it makes women very vulnerable. So many of the stereotypes, so much of the propaganda that is out here today just really makes women seem like horrible, horrible people who are out to get men and who are out to manipulate and scam off men using their beauty and their body. And, you got a lot of men who aren't mentally well, who are very susceptible to influences like that. And, many of them will take, they take that as a threat and they take that as, I need to do something about it, And so women become the prey. Many of these same men don't realize that, they are in control of their own future, destiny, whatever, and it has to do with the choices and things that they make in their life as well. But either way, they like to blame women. And so women become, you know, the as I said, the target and many times the victim. Um, I'm making the video because I want women to stop looking at men as an achievement or as something that it's some attainable goal that you have to shoot for. You know, um, I know in the Black community, it is so what's the word? It's so passed on, especially from the older generation, that you need a man. You ain't nothing without a man. Wed a man in your life. Them children need a man and blah, blah, blah. None of that is true. None of that's true. I mean, none of that means that you're going to die alone. None of that means that you're going to be the cat lady. None of that means that you're never going to get a man, never going to get a good man. But I think the pursuance of the goal in so many women's life of just having a man, just getting that goal is just, it causes them to be vulnerable, causes them to be foolish. Because a lot of these men out here, they realize, especially now today, how so many other men are teaching men to be hateful, spiteful, and manipulative, and betray women. And I mean, it's like they're teaching them. They're teaching them. And many of the men who are teaching them are bitter and have been hurt, didn't get what they want, didn't achieve what they wanted in life or the women that they wanted in life. And so now they're out here as experts and gurus and love coaches, and they're just teaching these men a lot of hateful, bitter, nasty, ugly, demonic things about women. It may be true of some women, but it ain't true of all women, and that's the thing. One of the main things that men always spew is not all men, not all men, don't judge me. But they group women constantly. They group women constantly. And I'm saying all that to say, women, be careful. Just be careful. Yes, they're love interests. Yes, if you get a good one, they are good for a lot of things. They're good for not being lonely. They're good for companionship, and if it's real love, and they're good for just being around, having around, if they're good people, but we've created such a desperate society for women, and you have to be aware. I mean, you really, really have to be aware. I mean, I read 3 stories just this morning about children coming up dead, an infant even, in Texas that came up dead at the hands of stepfathers. And some were fathers. Usually it's stepfather, though. I'm not, that's a whole nother video, but yeah. And women who either by omission or even by participating. And one woman was saying that she couldn't care for her baby the way that she wanted to because he wouldn't let her or whatever. He was beating her, and then she said something that he was trying to perform an exorcism on her and all. I mean, it was just, these... I think one of the huge problems, and this is really a whole video by itself, a whole problem in the society that we have is that this don't judge has just made people careless. And now, like, you see stuff. You see obvious stuff, especially women, in these people, in these men. And you just ignore it, or you just talk it off, or you just, oh, well, it's just, they probably know, be everybody got something, but a lot of times I think we really need to sit back and step back and look at it a little bit more closely. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not just write it off as, oh, I don't want to judge, or, yeah, that seemed kind of really strange to me that he does that and he acts like that. And every time I say such and such, he get mad and blah, blah, blah. Whatever the behavior is that causes you to have just a wonder moment, you need to examine that. You need to look at that, because many times you just don't know until you get into it. You really don't. I know that men love to say, she knew what she was getting, I have a very, very good friend who I haven't spoken with him in a moment. And it's because the last time we talked, we were talking about some of these issues and male-female issues. And, at the end of the day, I just, I'm like, I'm just not going, I don't want to end or mess up the friendship by continuing these type of conversations. So let's just not. I'm sure we will one day get back to it. But, he said some really, to me, really just messed up stuff, because he was like, the scenario was a woman who gets killed. I think it was a story that we were talking about, a woman that got killed. And basically his thing was, well, he was a bad boy, so she knew what she was getting and blah, blah, blah. And, so many men carry a persona, and it's like, we don't truly really know how he came to her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he was a streetwise, just straight up gangster hood. But I mean, maybe he did come to her like that. I don't know. But that's not always the case. And to say that a woman deserved what she got because she got with a bad man, quote unquote, that's just, that's wrong on so many levels. Because what we do with that is we assume that, oh, well, he a bad boy, he a street boy, then, okay, you deserve what you get. So many of these so-called, educated lames and nerds and smart guys, I mean, they out here doing wicked stuff too. They're hurting women too. They're killing women too. I mean, so it's not, the devil usually doesn't just walk up to you and introduce himself as the devil. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that alone, should cause you to, have a, to really think about it, to think about that, how a guy or a man looks at crimes against women and what he thinks about, some of these stories of women getting victimized and things like that. I mean, we need to look at that in our dating, in our just everyday life. Like, what do you think about that? How do you feel about that? Like, because if he is cold and insensitive, then, that's huge red flag. So I'm going to cut the video off, but I want us to start using more discernment. I say go back to judging. I don't care what somebody says. Oh, don't judge me. Don't judge. Okay, yeah, all right. But at the end of the day, you need to be safe. You need to stay safe. You need to use your intuition. You need to judge. You need to vet all of this stuff that they keep telling you. Once you hit a bad scenario or incident or accident or whatever happens to you, usually you're going to be to blame. You're not going to get a lot of sympathy, especially as a black woman. And so you have to use the things that are innately in you as a woman to tell you so that you can see, and just stop looking at them as only love entrance. or sex partners or whatever that need is in you that you need and you look for. I mean, we all get it. We all have it. But at the end of the day, for whatever amount of pleasure or whatever it is that you may be looking for, companionship, whatever it is, it's not worth your life. It's not worth years of abuse. It's not worth it's just not worth it at all. Your peace of mind, your health. Real quick, I read a story this morning about this man who, even the judge called him a self-absorbed narcissist who finally stalked and killed his wife of many years. And they say this woman had been beaten. She'd been emotionally and mentally abused so long, for so many years, she was terrorized. She was just, and finally, once she finally got the courage to leave, he stalked her and killed her. They say her family didn't even recognize her. That's how she'd been beaten down so much that she wasn't even recognizable. You know what I'm saying? Be very leery of men who want to take you away, take you out of state, take you to another place, away from your family, away from, to where, especially in a place where he has the leverage, he has the family and friends. Oh, be careful. Be careful. You have to keep some roots. You have to keep in contact with people. Don't let these guys, oh, your family don't like me, your friends don't like me, they don't, we need to just get away from that. No, don't do it, ladies. Please don't do it. I've been there. I've done that. I know. I have been in cities by myself with no family, no friends, no people. And then you get up there and it's like, especially if you really weren't close to them anyway, or whatever, it's like you get up, you're somewhere, and it's like, who you going to tell? Who you going to call? You know what I'm saying? So many of us, especially nowadays, we're not really, really close to our family. But even if you aren't, always keep a friend's phone number. Always keep a family member's phone. Always keep something as a connection. Because, sad to say, but I have to say, you don't want to be caught off somewhere alone in some situation where nobody knows you, nobody can find you, and they got to identify your body. I mean, it's crazy, but today you got to think like that, and that is a tactic of so many of these men to take you off, get you off somewhere by yourself, and you don't have any contact with family, friends, and loved ones, or you have defended him and cussed everybody out and said, you don't want nothing to do with him. And then once you find out he's a monster, you can't even go back. We don't want to do that to ourselves. So at the end of the day, like I say, let's use our intuition in the beginning. Let's judge in the beginning. Let's look in the beginning. Let's just be careful. Be so we're in a different world right now. Seriously. And that's not to say that a lot of this stuff has not been happening and going on, but we just have to be careful right now. We just really have to be careful right now. Women are prey. Women are victims right now. Women are just, we got to be careful. Leave your comments below. Tell me what you think. I thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for my subscribers. Hit the subscribe button. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Until the next video, see you next time.